What's going on, everyone? So, one of the questions that I've gotten after the Lakers lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves is, do I believe the Lakers are still a contender? And the answer is yes. I do still believe that they're a contender, but not all contenders win, right? Only one of them win. Every year, there is a handful of contenders, and only one gets to win the NBA championship. That's how it works, right? But I don't think the Lakers are so good that they were just going to run through everybody, right? Like, what did I always maintain? Yes, I believe the Lakers can beat anybody. I believe that there is a version of this where the Lakers win the NBA championship and are hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy, but it's not something I'd bet on. And I think just as much as there are arguments for the Lakers to beat every one of these teams, there are equally as many arguments for each one of those teams to beat the Lakers, right? But that doesn't mean that they're not a contender, right? There's also different levels of contenders and all that stuff. Are the Lakers a top 5 to 6 team? Yes, I believe so. Right. But matchups are very important. And this is why I didn't want to play Minnesota, because I thought they were a bad matchup for us. I said I wanted to play the Warriors. Right. But a lot of people disagreed with me. That's fine. I still believe the Lakers can beat Minnesota, but Lakers are not good enough to just coast these games or take off quarters or take off sequences or whatever, right? Lakers have way too many holes, way too many flaws to where they don't have the luxury to just flip the switch, right? You look at Boston last year. Boston lost, then they lose the very first game of the playoffs for them, right? But they were so much better than everybody. They could just turn it on and they were good and all was right and the world was fine. Do I believe the Lakers are a contender? Absolutely, right? I don't want to undersell the Lakers loss, but I also don't think it's, again, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. I don't think it's something where, we all need to panic and it's like, oh, that's it, Lakers season is over, anything like that. Losses happen. Game 1 losses happen. Lakers lost every game 1 except for, I believe, the finals in the 2020 season, right? They lost to Portland in game 1. They lost to Houston in game 1. I believe they lost to Denver in game 1, right? It happens, right? LeBron is notorious for losing game 1. But you have to make sure you're handling business in the other games. And look, this team is in many ways going to live by the 3, die by the 3, right? Because they just don't have the interior presence. Guys need to hit shots. I also think that there were just circumstances to the Minnesota game. I think the Lakers just lack of performance, overhelp, right? Game plan and execution wasn't great. There was a lot of issues on the Lakers side of the ball, not hitting shots. LeBron didn't have a great game. Austin Reeves was a no-show, right? There was, again, several factors on the Lakers side of things that kind of played a role in the Lakers losing this game. But I also think that there were a lot of circumstances on Minnesota's side, such as they shot 21 of 42 threes. You could let Minnesota, which Lakers almost did, pretty close, you could let Minnesota literally just stand there and take 42 threes a game, and they probably wouldn't make 21. You could just leave them wide open. They probably wouldn't make 21 threes, right? Again, Jaden McDaniels was their best player, and he scored 25 points. He might not score 25 points again the rest of the playoffs, not even just against the Lakers, right? There are circumstances beyond just the Lakers' lack of performance. But again, I do believe the Lakers are a contender, but I don't think that they are so good and such a contender that they can just, kind of pack games in and have poor performances and poor quarters and poor the Lakers aren't that good. Lakers aren't so good that it's we don't even need to show up this game. It's fine. We'll just take this game off, just kind of get back into a rhythm and a flow, and then, we'll play the next 4 games, we'll win those 4 and we'll win in 5. I just don't see that. Even going into the series, I thought if the Lakers win the 2 home games, they win in 5, but I thought more likely than not it'd be 6. Right? I thought that they might lose, win game 1, maybe lose game 2, split and just kind of have that trade, and then the Lakers will kind of have figured what they needed to figure out. I talked about how I could see this team losing games in the playoffs that they shouldn't be losing, because there are going to be some learning curves. There are going to be some hiccups, right? You have Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves in the first playoffs together. There's going to be some trial and error there because the playoffs are a very different game than the regular season. On top of that, it's JJ Redick and this coaching staff's first time in the playoffs with the Lakers, right? Yes, you got guys like Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks and stuff that have experience and playoff experience, stuff like that. But no, again, with this Lakers team, it's the first time JJ Redick is a first-year head coach. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. Right? So I thought that there would be some hiccups. Right? So them losing one game isn't the be-all, end-all. Lakers, look, there's always going to be overreactions. There's always going to be the pendulum swing, as they call it, right? Lakers could be up 3-0 in a series. And if Lakers lose one game, the sky is falling, right? Like, oh my God, Lakers are going to be the first team to lose 3-0 in a series and blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, you get those, you're going to get those reactions regardless, right? But you want to try to limit them as much as possible, right? Like, again, losses happen. I didn't expect the Lakers to go 16-0 in the playoffs, nor do I expect them to go 15-0 now. Never did, right? But I do believe the Lakers can win each series. I do think they are in the most favorable side of the bracket for them. Right? You get through this round. I think both the Warriors and the Houston Rockets are a much favorable matchup for the Lakers than Minnesota is. Right? I talked about my concerns very heavily about Minnesota. Right? And again, a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people thought Minnesota was not, like, oh no, that's the better matchup for the Lakers. I kind of disagreed. Because like a team like the Warriors, they're the only team that doesn't have the interior size to punish us. Right? You saw in game one, Lakers were so worried about the interior that they basically just conceded threes. Where if you play a team like the Warriors, you're not worried about the interior. You're just trying to stay home on shooters, doing your best to contain Steph. Right? You're never going to stop him, but can you keep him within reason? Right? And they are so Steph reliant, all that stuff. Where Minnesota's a team that they can beat you in multiple ways. Guys can step up and play big. It's not, yes, they are very Anthony Edwards reliant, but they are a team that can beat you even without Anthony Edwards having a monster game, as we just saw. Right? So are the Lakers still a contender? Absolutely. Right? Like, but again, contenders don't always win. Right? Like last year, several contenders were eliminated. Matchups are very important come playoff time. Very important. Right? Last year was a great example of that. Right? It was just like, our bad matchup was Denver. Denver's bad matchup was Minnesota. Minnesota's bad matchup was the Dallas Mavericks. Guess who was in the NBA Finals? The Dallas Mavericks. Right? Like, it's just matchups. All those things are very important. So do I think the Lakers are still a contender? Absolutely. Do I think the Lakers still win the series? Absolutely. But again, they're not so good that they're just going to run away with the championship, right? Like, they're just going to sweep the board and just run through everybody. Never thought that. I didn't think they were going to go 6-0. I thought that they would lose some games along the way, especially early on. But handle business, right the ship, you're in good shape, right? At least that's my opinion. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Agree with me, disagree with me, kind of mixed in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.